Hello and welcome to what I am dubbing Baldur's Gate Mod Spotlight. Now you may be thinking, Vandrex, I like to mod my Baldur's Gate. I know this, I do that, I like all my mods. Well, guess what? Maybe sometimes there's a mod that flies under your radar, and I'm here to tell you all about it. But today, actually, you're going to hear a song in the background. It's a royalty-free song. It's just filler so that you don't get bored to my voice. Bored of my voice, I should say. But it is a song called Twisted. And the reason I chose this song is because the custom NPC we were looking at right now is quite twisted. Oh my gosh, I'm so good. But, yeah. So as you can see here, this is a man named Vynd, created by another guy, well, maybe a guy, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, named Glamvrock, a neutral evil elf, or a Drow, if that is what would suit you, who's skilled using longsword and darts. 1 point each because of his assassin class. And if we go into his stats right here, you actually see he has really good stats. I mean, 16 strength is very good. 19 dexterity is also very good. I've lost my mouse cursor. There it is. But 15 constitution, I mean, yeah, it could be better. 7 hit points per level, but that's pretty decent. 16 intelligence doesn't really do anything for him. I mean, it gives him a decent lore score. But wisdom is 10, which is fine. It's irrelevant. And same thing with charisma. And you may see up in the top right corner there, next to assassin, it actually says times 7 backstab, which is something I will be talking about a little later in the video. Alright, so as you can see here, this is the criteria, at least for a modded NPC. Obviously, it would be a little different if we were, say, doing a modded class or a modded mod pack. Or, not a modded quest pack. But as you can see, in combat, I've given him a total of 7 out of 10. He has one major flaw, which is what I will be addressing later in the video, and does relate back to that times 7 backstab. But in solo combat, it does say 6 out of 10. He's really good because he can backstab someone. But he does have some trouble afterwards, especially when he is the center of attention, even with his very good armor class. But in team combat, he's very effective, whether it be with his sword, with his longsword, or some darts, because he really does do a lot of damage with darts. But and that's basically everything on the combat side of things. Now, the second side of a mod character would be the actual character itself, and the way I describe him is a dark, gritty jerk. Like, seriously, this guy is not exactly nice. You know, at least, you know, he's not exactly mean, though. So, you know, he's just kind of very elusive in a way. But it does really have, like, that's supposed to say beautifully crafted dialogue down there, but, I guess I forgot, I don't know. But, it really is, it's very nice dialogue. He talks about the Underdark a lot, which I personally like, and his personality is very fitting. He's not, it's very constant, and I still, even coming up on the end of my playthrough, I keep asking myself, can I really trust this guy, or is literally everything he's telling me in these conversations a lie? Because he doesn't exactly seem too happy to be traveling with us. And I'm not going to show you many dialogue, conversations in this game, in this video, because I really want you to go and look at them for yourself, because they really are fantastic. But if we go on further, we are going to get into the first part of the combat section, which is solo combat. So if you take a look here, we have I did just mute the video, but we have you can see Vynd, he is there, he is invisible, he is hidden in the shadows right now, but if he moves up a bit, you will see that he has spotted a hobgoblin. Now, the biggest issue with this fight right now, which you're going to see in about a second, I missed the backstab, allowing this hobgoblin elite to live. And I didn't pay enough attention. There's actually a second hobgoblin hiding in the trees down there. So I am constantly having to make rolls against arrows, and as I walk forward, which instead of being so reckless and walking towards this hobgoblin, I probably should have walked backwards and tried to get back in the shadows, but now I have instead run across another hobgoblin. Another hobgoblin elite, actually. And those are just more arrows I'm going to have to deal with. See, yes, he did kill the first hobgoblin, but that shouldn't have even been necessary, because if I didn't miss the backstab, then things might have went a bit better. But so far he has been hit. As you can see, they have very low rolls against him. That's just how high his armor class is. They get -5 to him to hit him in some situations. But as you see, he is also having quite a bit of trouble hitting them if you look at the damage rolls in the box. So he did just get hit. For the first hit, I didn't actually see what they needed to roll. I apologize. You could probably go back and find where the actual hit was, but he still has not landed a single hit on this hobgoblin, but he does kill him. And then I quickly switched to darts, and he does pelt him critting him with a dart, doing 6 damage, but then he does end up getting poisoned himself. And what I should have done here is walked forward after firing a few darts to stop that hobgoblin from using his bow, because that is what led to my poisoning. But he is dead now, as you can see. So as you can see, Vynd comes out at half health against what are considered pretty easy enemies, and that entire fight took him about a minute and 15 seconds or around there. So I don't know. I mean, yes, it probably would have went a lot better if I did not miss the backstab. But these are really easy enemies. Like, if you see in the bottom, or on the right side, obviously, you see the characters. But if I had sent Minsk in there, that fight probably would have been over in 20 seconds, maybe. You know, it's just a matter with Minsk of him actually getting up to them, which Vynd did very well, very easily. But, next, we're going to move on to the team combat. So as you can see here, we've got a huge team combat going on here against some pretty tough enemies besides the bandit, but there is one man in particular there who's wearing full plate armor and is very difficult. But you can see Vynd off to the left side over there. And here, I believe we kill the bandit in the middle, in between the 5 people, and then we switch our attention to the very heavily armored man, and with the help of a command, Vynd, with the help of the command spell from Lyconia, he's very easily able to run up with him because Minsk is tanking all the arrows from these bandits and hit him for, I think, what it ended up being 12 damage, which is pretty good, especially against a guy who has he has like pretty low armor class. I can't remember. But if you do see over to the very left here, I actually have 2 traps set up. One is actually cut off, and I probably should have attempted to make better use of them. But I'll show you how this plays out. It is going to be a little slow at times, I apologize. Like right here. And that's actually going to slow down even more. Here, actually, Vynd is quickly, because the attention and most enemies are dead. The attention is both drawn off him and most of the enemies are dead. He's able to very easily walk up to this other bandit. I'm pretty sure he kills him almost instantly when he gets in range of an attack. As you see there, he did do 7 damage. And he does walk over to help with this guy, but someone gives him before he can actually get in there. So I don't believe the last part that I said showed up, but just in case it didn't, I'd like to elaborate. So what I did there after we finished the main section of the guys, before moving over to this screen, was I switched to the dart, and obviously he tagged the guy with the dart for a small amount of damage, and that was my intent, because as you may have seen under the team combat in a description, he requires a bit more attention in combat to get use of both his longsword and his darts, which is something I wanted to demonstrate. But as you can see, he performs much better, almost coming out unscathed, and while still being able to dish out decent amounts of damage. I mean, sure, you know, as an assassin it wasn't insane, but it was still pretty good. Next, we're going to move on to the overall character, and I will show you one of my favorite conversations with him, and it is mainly a joke, and mainly because I don't want to show you any of them. I want you to go see them for yourself, download this mod and see them for yourself. So, as you can see here, there are some ending credits, and where you can actually find this character. He is available at both the Baldur's Gate forums and Gibberlings 3, and he's currently available for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, Baldur's Gate 2.2, and Baldur's Gate Trilogy. And also, yeah, you need to stay tuned for more Baldur's Gate after Christmas. But, here is what I wanted to talk about. If you remember, earlier, it said ×7 backstab next to his assassin class. Now, here's one of the biggest issues. I apologize, I hit my mic. But one of the biggest issues with Vynd. Since he is only available right now for Baldur's Gate 1, he cannot actually make use of that ×7 backstab, which actually puts him on par with characters like Montaron. Mainly because I never really find myself needing to use poison weapon. It's just never explicitly necessary. So, I mean, honestly, if you were trying to assemble the best team possible, you would not take Vynd along, because his DPS is not as high as someone like Montaron or Emoin or Koron. And, I mean, yes, he's fun, and he's a lot of fun to use, and his dialogues are fantastic. It's just, his amazingness is kind of dampered on, because of his class. Because, as I said, it is impossible for him to get to that ×7 backstab. So, you know, it just kind of makes me upset, because I love this character, seriously. This is possibly one of my favorite modern NPCs in any of the Infinity Engine games, mainly the Baldur's Gate games. But it's just such a killer, because, you know, I could play a bounty hunter and at this point do everything Vynd does and get extra traps and more skill points per level, or I could play a shadow dancer and, you know, get better sneaking abilities. It's just not too great. But let me tell you this, if he is put in Baldur's Gate 2, Vynd will be a monster. He will cut down anyone with a sneak attack, especially with the poison weapon. And Glambrock has stated that he does eventually plan on putting Vynd in Baldur's Gate 2. So, I will say this. In his current state, Vynd, pretty decent character. If he's put in Baldur's Gate 2, especially so that people with Baldur's Gate Trilogy can make use of it, he becomes an absolute monster. and will become that much better, because I'm sure when he does get put in Baldur's Gate 2, Glamrock has tons of new dialogue for us, seeing as what he's written already is quite fantastic. And I actually wanted to talk about that a little bit. He does talk about the Underdark quite a bit. In fact, most of his conversations I found are centered around that. So if that doesn't really interest you, you might not find his dialogues all that interesting. But links for all these things will be in the description. I do plan to make this a sort of series, because I'm pretty sure the second episode is going to be on the Duskblade class, which my character from the videos is actually playing as, but I don't use any spells. So I will see you all in the next episode.